So another way that I use timers is like if you block out amounts of time to do something, like, hey, I have 20 minutes to make these phone calls, or 20 minutes, I'm going to do email in this 20 minutes. Or, even if it's something fun, like I have these 20 minutes to scroll. It's really important, I think, to use a timer for that, because time will get away from us. So even if emails are important, like, and you're going through the emails and you find other emails and you're like, oh, I got to do this. And then you end up spending an hour doing that. But what happens is the other blocks of time that were just as important get missed. So if you set a timer for 20 minutes and you just do as much as you can for that 20 minutes, and then you realize there's other emails you have to go to, well, then later you'll schedule another 20 minutes block of time to get it done. But I think what happens a lot of times is like time just gets away from us. We're just not aware of how much time we're spending. So timers will help make sure that things aren't sucking your time in a way that you don't want it to. So if you have 20 minutes to do something, set that timer for 20 minutes and just do that 20 minutes and then move on to the other thing that you need to get done, because you wouldn't have scheduled these blocks of times earlier in the day if they weren't things that were important to you and that you needed to get done. And I feel like what happens a lot of the time if we don't do these things is we get to the end of the day and we were pretty productive in the sense that we got a lot of stuff done, but it wasn't the important stuff, or it wasn't the stuff that we said we would get done. And so at the end of the day, we don't feel good about ourselves, even though we worked really hard. And that's such a vicious cycle, because we're like, we're working hard, but we're not getting ahead, and this is not working, and I feel crappy, and I know I did what I could today, but I didn't get the stuff done, and I'm never gonna be able to get it done. It isn't that you're not a hard worker. It isn't that you're not working hard. It's you need a timer. It's your best friend. It's just that our time is slipping away doing things that we shouldn't necessarily be doing that day. And so, or just too much of it. So scheduling these times and keeping a timer. And if you need to, like keeping that phone or the timer in a different room, so you literally have to get up away from the computer, away from whatever, to walk over and turn the timer off. And then maybe the timer is next to your scheduler. What's the next amount of time? And so I've talked about this with lots of people, and sometimes people are like my whole day is scheduled and that feels too scheduled. Here's the thing, you get to schedule in free time. You get to schedule in fun. And when you do it like that, you get more time for fun. You get more time for self-care. You get more time. You can schedule 20 minutes, half an hour to do nothing. To do whatever you want, but you're being specific about it so that you get more time, and so that at the end of the day you got self-care, you got some fun, you got time to do nothing, and then you also got all of these other things done that you wanted to get done, and you feel good about yourself. So using a timer is not being like creating more stress, it's relieving stress and giving you the gift of productive time and more time. Okay, here's one that might sound weird, whatever, but like my mom lives in another country and I love talking to her, but my life is very busy, chaotic. But I want to talk to her a couple times a week, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to talk to her, but I only have 5 minutes. Like I can't talk to her for 5 minutes. Like that doesn't work. Like usually when we talk, like if I have the time, we talk for an hour and a half. It's really fun. But sometimes then I go for a week or a week and a half or 2 weeks where I don't call her because I don't have that amount of time. So sometimes I call her. She knows how quirky I am. And I'm like, okay, I have a timer set for 10 minutes. That's all I have. I'm so sorry, but I really wanted to talk to you today, but I only have 10 minutes. So when the timer goes off, I am gonna have to like hang up, say I love you and hang up. But I really wanted those 10 minutes to be for us. And that's important because she knows I'm thinking of her. And even in my busy day, I've scheduled 10 minutes. And if I had not done that, it would have been maybe 2 weeks before I called her because I didn't have the chunk of time I wanted. So timers really gift you more things, even if it's like in tiny increments. It can gift you that. I want to talk about one thing that is not a timer. Snooze. The snooze button is not a good timer. And we'll talk about this. I'm going to have some sleep videos because I struggled with sleep for so long and I'm finally getting sleep now. But there's so much research on hitting the snooze button, which maybe feels like a timer. Like, hey, I get 20 more minutes to sleep before the timer goes off. Oh, I get 20 more minutes or whatever your snooze is. But snooze timers are not helpful. So I'm just going to give you this little tidbit of like, figure out how long you really truly can sleep. So if you can hit the snooze button like 2 times and give yourself an extra half an hour or 40 minutes, set your alarm for that amount of time so you wake up, so you get a solid extra 40 minutes. The sleep that you get on snooze is not good sleep. It messes with your rhythm. There's a lot of research on this. So gift yourself that extra amount of time that you would hit the snooze button and actually sleep for that amount of time and then get up. Okay, I have an idea. I want you to turn on the timer for like 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, you're gonna give me a thumbs up and you're gonna write a comment. Like, in which ways could you use your timer? Or what things do you hate to do that a timer might help you? Or write whatever, because you got 30 seconds. You gotta write something in that timer. When the timer goes off, you could just stop. We wanna interact with you. We wanna help you. And we wanna inspire you, but you also inspire us. And that's by like this interaction. So, set your timer for 30 seconds. Go!